What is DEX and why is it important to me as a business owner and investor? Let me preface this. Decentralized exchanges, also known as DEXs, DEX, are changing the game for business owners and investors, but most people using them have no idea about the tax, legal, and security implications that could cost them everything. If you're using DEXs or thinking about it, you need to understand what you're getting into, because one wrong move in a DEX can trigger audits, tax liabilities, or even loss of funds. Let me tell you why you should listen to me about DEXs. I'm with Numeratus, and we're not your typical accounting firm. While most firms don't even know what a DEX is, we've been helping clients navigate DEX compliance, security, and opportunity for over a year. We've worked with business owners and investors who use DEXs for privacy, control, and access to opportunities that centralized exchanges don't offer. We've helped clients understand the tax implications, document their transactions, and stay compliant while using their platforms. Here's what most people don't understand. DEXs offer incredible opportunity, but they also come with unique risks and compliance requirements that most users don't even know exist. Most accountants can't help you because they don't understand how DEXs work. We've built our practice specifically around helping sophisticated investors and business owners navigate the complex world of DeFi and decentralized trading. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably either using DEXs already or considering it. Maybe you want more privacy than centralized exchanges offer. Maybe you want access to tokens that aren't listed on major exchanges. Maybe you're interested in DeFi opportunities like yield farming or liquidity pools. Here's what I'm going to show you in this video: what DEXs actually are, why they matter for business owners and investors, the risks and opportunities they present, and most importantly, how to use them safely and compliantly. But here's what's really going to shock you. The biggest risk with DEXs isn't the technology, it's the compliance and tax implications that most users don't even know exist, and the IRS is watching. So let me show you exactly what you need to know. Problem number one, what DEXs actually are and why they're different. Let me start by explaining what a decentralized exchange actually is and why it's fundamentally different from the exchanges that most people are familiar with. A decentralized exchange is a platform that allows you to trade cryptocurrencies directly with other users without a centralized intermediary. Unlike Coinbase or Kraken, there's no company holding your funds or facilitating your trades. Instead, trades happen through smart contracts on the blockchain. Popular decentralized exchanges include Uniswap, SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, and many others. They operate on various blockchains like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and others. Here's why this matters for business owners and investors. Privacy and control. There's no KYC, also known as Know Your Customer requirements on most decentralized exchanges. You maintain custody of your funds at all times. There's no centralized entity that can freeze your accounts or block your transactions. There's more privacy than a centralized exchange. Access to opportunities. Trade tokens that aren't listed on centralized exchanges. Access to new projects and early stage investments. Participate in DeFi opportunities like yield farming, liquidity pools, etc. There's no geographic restrictions. Just bear in mind, if you're utilizing an exchange like Coinbase, even though Coinbase might have a detailed listing of all the assets that they offer, you might not be able to invest in those assets because you need to go through a decentralized exchange. So basically off of Coinbase. But here's the catch. With this freedom comes responsibility and risk. Do you understand the fundamental difference between decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges? Most people using decentralized exchanges don't fully understand what they're getting into. Now, despite what you've been told, the privacy and freedom of decentralized exchanges comes with a hidden cost that most users don't discover until it's too late. Problem number two, the tax reporting nightmare. No 1099s, but you still owe. This is where Decentralized exchange usage becomes truly complicated from a compliance perspective. Unlike centralized exchanges that will issue a 1099 DA form and report your transactions to the IRS, decentralized exchanges don't report anything. There's no centralized entity to issue any tax forms. But here's the critical part that most people miss. You still owe taxes on every single decentralized exchange transaction. Let me tell you about a client. Let's call him David. David started using Uniswap to trade tokens that weren't available on Coinbase. He made significant gains, but because he didn't receive any tax forms, he didn't think he needed to report the transactions. When the IRS audited him, they used blockchain analytics to track his DEX transactions. They assessed taxes, penalties, and interest on all his unreported gains. David thought DEX transactions were private and untraceable, but the blockchain is public and the IRS has tools to analyze it. Here's what makes DEX tax reporting so dangerous. There's no automatic reporting. Decentralized exchanges don't issue 1099 forms. There's no centralized entity reporting your transactions to the IRS. You are responsible for tracking and reporting everything yourself. Complex transaction types. Every swap is a taxable event. Liquidity pool deposits and withdrawals have tax implications. Yield farming rewards are taxable income. Impermanent loss calculations are complex. Blockchain is public. All decentralized exchange transactions are recorded on the blockchain. The IRS can use blockchain analytics to track your activity. Privacy doesn't mean tax-free. Are you tracking and reporting all your DEX transactions for tax purposes? Most DEX users aren't, and they're setting themselves up for audits and penalties. But after learning the fundamentals, there is one thing that people completely neglect, and it is something that should be one of the most important things to you when using DEXs, and that is understanding the security risks. Problem number 3, the security and smart contract risks. Your funds can disappear. This is where DEX usage becomes truly dangerous from a security perspective. When you use a DEX, you're interacting directly with smart contracts, and smart contracts can have bugs, vulnerabilities, or even be malicious. We've seen clients lose significant funds because they connected their wallet to a malicious DEX clone. They approved unlimited token spending to a compromised contract, used a DEX with a smart contract vulnerability that got exploited, fell victim to rug pulls on new token launches. Here's what makes decentralized exchange security so challenging: the smart contract risk. Smart contracts can have bugs or vulnerabilities. Once you approve a contract to spend your tokens, it can drain your wallet. Exploits and hacks are common in DeFi. There's no customer service to call if something goes wrong. There's phishing and scams, fake decentralized exchange websites that look identical to the real ones. There's malicious tokens that drain your wallet when you try to trade them. There's rug pulls where developers abandon projects and steal funds. There's social engineering attacks targeting DEX users. And there's no recourse. If you lose funds on a DEX, there's no company to contact. Transactions are irreversible. There's no insurance or fraud protection. You're responsible for your own security. Have you verified that the DEX you're using is legitimate and that the smart contracts are secure? Most DEX users don't do proper due diligence before connecting their wallets. This next step I'm about to share with you is possibly one of the most important things to do when it comes to decentralized exchange usage. And yet, it is one people disregard the importance of the most. It's understanding the regulatory uncertainty. Problem number 4, the regulatory uncertainty problem. The rules are changing. This is where DEX usage becomes truly risky from a legal perspective. The regulatory environment for DEXs and DeFi is evolving rapidly, and what's legal today might not be legal tomorrow. We've seen regulatory crackdowns on DEX developers and protocols. The liquidity providers on certain platforms, users of sanctioned protocols, privacy-focused DeFi tools as well. Here's what makes regulatory uncertainty so dangerous. It's an evolving regulation environment. The SEC is targeting DeFi protocols. OFAC has sanctioned certain smart contracts. New regulations are being proposed constantly. What's legal today might be illegal tomorrow. There are several compliance challenges. Hard to know which regulations apply to DEX usage. The different countries have different rules. Using sanctioned protocols can result in criminal charges. Compliance requirements are unclear and changing. There's even business and visa implications. E2 and E5 visa holders need to be specifically careful. Business owners using DEXs for company funds face additional scrutiny. International investors may face restrictions in their home countries. Are you aware of the current regulatory environment for decentralized exchanges and how it might affect you? Most DEX users aren't, and they could be violating regulations without even knowing it. Now that we have everything we've talked about settled, the next step is by far the easiest process. Yet most people overcomplicate it, using DEXs safely and compliantly. Solution number 1, proper security practices for DEX usage. Here's how to actually use decentralized exchanges safely. First, you need to understand that security is your responsibility. There's no company to protect you. Verify everything. Always verify the DEX URL before connecting your wallet. Bookmark legitimate DEX sites and only use those bookmarks. Check smart contract addresses on blockchain explorers. Research new tokens before trading them. Look for audited smart contracts. Use proper wallet security. Use a dedicated wallet for DEX trading, separate from your main holdings. Never approve unlimited token spending. Revoke token approvals regularly. Use tools like Revoke Cash. Use hardware wallets for significant holdings. Never share your seed phrase or private keys. You have to do your own due diligence. Research DEXs before using them. Check for smart contract audits. Look for community reviews and reputation. Start with small amounts to test it out. Be extremely cautious with new or unknown tokens. But even with perfect security, there's one more critical step that most people miss. And that's solution number 2, proper tax tracking and reporting. Security is one half the battle. You also need to track and report all your DEX transactions for tax purposes. Use specialized crypto tax software. Regular tax software can't handle DEX transactions. Use tools like CoinTracker, CoinLink, Token Tax, CryptoWorth, and even coin tracking. Connect your wallets to automatically import DEX transactions. Review all imported transactions for accuracy. Let that be through a CSV file or even, hopefully, an API. Track all transaction types. Every swap, token A for token B, liquidity pool deposits and withdrawals, yield farming rewards, impermanent loss calculations. Gas fees can be deductible. Document everything. Keep records of all DEX transactions. Screenshot transaction confirmations. Document the business purpose if using DEXs for business. Keep records for at least 6 years. Work with crypto tax experts. DEX tax reporting is complex. Most accountants don't understand DeFi. Work with professionals who specialize in crypto and DeFi. Get a compliance review before filing. The next part can take you from being someone who just uses DEXs to someone who uses them strategically for business and investment opportunities. And it's something sophisticated investors do automatically. Solution number 3, strategic DEX usage for business and investment. Once you understand the risks and compliance requirements, you can use DEXs strategically for legitimate business and investment opportunities. For business owners, access to tokens not available on centralized exchanges, ability to participate in token launches and early-stage projects, DeFi opportunities for treasury management, privacy for competitive business transactions. For investors, there's early access to promising projects. There's yield farming and liquidity provision opportunities. Arbitrage opportunities across different DEXs, portfolio diversification beyond major exchanges. There are best practices. Use DEXs as part of a diversified strategy, not your only platform. Keep the majority of funds on more secure platforms. Only use DEXs for specific opportunities that justify the risk. Maintain proper documentation for all business-related DEX usage. Stay updated on regulatory changes. For E2 and EB5 visa holders, be specifically careful with DEX usage for business funds. Document all transactions thoroughly. Ensure all activity supports your business purpose. Work with professionals who understand visa compliance. DEXs offer incredible opportunities for business owners and investors, but they also come with significant risks and compliance requirements that most users just don't understand. Every day that you use decentralized exchanges without proper security and compliance measures, you're risking your funds and your tax status. Every transaction you don't track properly will come back to haunt you in an audit. But the good news is that DEXs can be used safely and compliantly when you understand the risks and implement the right systems. You just need professional guidance to do it right. If you're using decentralized exchanges or considering it, if you want to make sure you're protected from security risks and compliant with tax requirements, and if you want to use DEXs strategically for legitimate purposes and investment opportunities, you need professional guidance. At Numeratus, we specialize in helping business owners and investors navigate the complex world of DeFi and decentralized trading. We don't just tell you what to do, we help you implement proper security tracking and compliance systems. We're not your typical accounting firm. We work with sophisticated investors and business owners who understand that DEXs offer opportunities, but only if you know how to use them correctly. If you want to learn more about how to use DEXs safely and compliantly, how to track and report decentralized exchange transactions properly, and how to leverage DEXs for legitimate businesses and investment opportunities, visit numeratus.us or contact us directly. Don't let security risks or compliance issues prevent you from accessing the opportunities DEXs offer. Build the right systems now before you need them. Because remember, in DeFi, you're your own bank. Make sure you're protected.